A little bit of fire out the fireplace sometimes. Never good for anybody.
It's warm at first.
And then it's right.
Coming down.
Up the chimney.
Ooh, yeah, bring in the good news. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I got some good news. Yeah, good reporters bring it to your porch. Good reporters bring it to your page. Good reporters bring it on your YouTube and Instagram the way.
On today's podcast, we're going to do a smooth Q&A segment, and this is where you guys sent in your questions, your thoughts, whatever about life, about Christ, about relationships, and we're going to do our best, to the best of our abilities, to really influence you in a good way, impact you guys, encourage you, and we really hope that our opinions and our thoughts make an impact. And if you want to continue doing this, and if we would love it that you guys continue doing this, and the way you can do that is you can send us a DM to our Good Reporters Instagram and send us a message about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's love, life, Christian questions, just whatever it is, and we'll get back to you guys for sure. So where do we start? We got a good amount of questions for the first one. It's a good turnout, honestly.
Facts.
I got a lot of. Where do you want to start at, Z? What you tell me the first one we should take? I like this one right here. That's a good one. All right. So here goes. So this message is from @the_Ayla_Lynn. And she said, should a woman date a man of God who isn't interested in seeking therapy?
That's a good question. Should a woman date a man who isn't interested in seeking therapy?
A man of God. But to be honest with you, I don't know if she should date a man at all who isn't interested. Well, who's interested in seeking therapy.
Why you say that?
All right. I say that, well, let me be clear. It depends. How about that? It depends. Because if he's not interested in seeking therapy because I guess he feels like he's actually been okay and like you guys can work on it, then maybe that's something we could talk about. But if he's not interested in seeking therapy because he's like, I'll be all right, even though he's not all right, I would say that that's like a boastful mindset. And I would also say, like, biblically, what the Bible does say is that we should always be seeking counsel, and we should, if a wise person doesn't turn down advice, a wise person doesn't turn down correction. So if he's like doing it out of a prideful, boastful way, and he's just like, nah, like, who can somebody tell me about myself? Like, I know everything. Then biblically it's incorrect because, he's kind of being boastful and he's saying like, I can't take correction. But if it depends. Seeking is a different question, but I would say that. Let's just leave it at that. He should be able to take correction and be willing if that's something that you two want to do together.
Facts. So let me reread the question. Let me just get it in me. Should a woman date a man of God who isn't interested in seeking therapy?
Yeah.
Should a woman...
Be real now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I would say... I agree with you. I say it depends. But I also say, yeah. The reason why is because there's not a lot of men who's interested in seeking therapy. And it's not because they think therapy is bad. It's just they don't think they need it.
Yeah,
and I think
that's true.
And honestly, I'm be honest with you. I think therapy now, I think mental health has been hyped in some form of fashion right now. Yes, it's needed. I'm a highly advocate. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a highly advocate for therapy. I do think there's that us as men, we really do need people to talk to.
Yes.
But what I say, if what I had said to my wife, she shouldn't have dated me. Like she shouldn't have allowed me to pursue her or dated me, is because therapy wasn't my first, wasn't on my top priority. Like, so no, I would say, nah, I disagree. If you are interested in a man who's not interested in pursuing therapy, I do not think that's I don't think that's a deterrent. I don't think you should.
It's not a absolute red flag.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's a red flag. I don't think you should count him out just because he's not interested in pursuing therapy.
Yeah.
But what is a red flag? What is a red flag is if he knows he has issues, or
yes,
that's what I'm. Okay, so now this is where I agree in that sense.
Right.
If he clearly has issues, right?
Yeah.
If he clearly has unresolved issues, if he clearly has trust issues, if he clearly has some form of fashion of issues and he expresses it, but he doesn't go seek help,
Yeah.
That's a red flag automatically.
That's
my
a
bad.
problem,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
problem automatically. Where is
Yeah.
because he knows that he needs help, but he's just not seeking it. And
He's not
obviously, you
doing it.
mentioned in earlier too, in the Bible it talks about there's wisdom in a multitude of counsel. So
Yes.
basically, that is just a lack of accountability, and that
Yeah.
is one red flag there. If the man of God or woman of God that
Right,
that
right.
you are pursuing do not have accountability, and
Yes.
they don't have anybody who can hold them accountable or even looking
Yeah.
for accountability in life, gotta let them
Red
go.
flag.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Flag on the plate, man.
Red flag it. Flag it. No, that's
Nah, that's serious.
I'm not gonna lie. I never heard that sound for the flag before. That sounded like the parade. Nah, but it's a fact though. That's a word. I like what you said there. Like, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I have my ways in terms of like not with therapy per se, but even though I've never done therapy before, like my first time doing therapy was probably like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago is my first time ever doing therapy, and I'm 30. So, but I wasn't refusing it. I just didn't really feel like, in that sense, I was like seeking it or needing it. I felt like God was my counselor, you know, the cliche. I felt those things, and so, you know, for the most part, I kind of like, you know, went that way with it. But I came to the end of myself, and when, like Z said, to your point, if you come to the end of yourself and you just can't like get to it, you're just like really just spiraling, and your trauma seems to be so bad, and you're just like, no, I'm still not going to do it. Then that says more about the person's, you know, willingness to seek any sort of help.
Yep.
As a wife, you probably won't be enough help for him when you tell him something, and he's gonna be like, nah, I got it with everything. You know, you guys might not be able to communicate and compromise on certain things. So like that,
Vice versa.
that would be, yeah, and vice versa, right?
If she's not
it's the same
she's
thing.
not willing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a big advocate for my brothers.
Yeah, no, both of them. No, you're right. No, you're right about it. Because that's what, yeah, we're gonna do it. But you're right. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say for me, I personally could be like that with, like, let's say like creatine or like workout powders or something. I'm an advocate for just working out regular, and they're like, yo, but you know, you can just use protein powders to help your body regenerate the Nah, I'm gonna do it myself. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know what it is. Don't
I
make
ain't
you a
with the
bad
whey
person. You know?
protein.
Don't need no whey protein. I am whey protein. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not always the worst, but it just depends on why, and it also depends on if it's destructive, because they may not even realize it.
Yeah.
But also, just because they don't realize it doesn't mean you have to sit around and kind of like deal with it.
Yeah, no. So that's a fact. Like, so yeah. So if you therapy, big thing, go get some.
It's huge.
Speaking to somebody, it's popping. It'll help you.
Get it.
If you are on the fence of getting therapy, go get therapy, my brother. You need
Get
it.
it.
Trust me. Speaking to somebody, I need therapy. My wife need therapy.
Y'all need therapy together.
Yeah, we need therapy together. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like
My therapist need therapy.
I seen this meme one time, and it was just like, when I get money, you get therapy. You get Nah, for real though. Like, I speaking to somebody about your problems, or having someone help unpack the luggage of your life can truly set you free. I got one.
Right here.
I don't even know how you pronounce this. This is Wusha EB.
Oh, wasabi.
Oh, wasabi.
Like wasabi. You know what I mean? That's my boy.
Wasabi. All right, cool.
Hey, man.
All right.
Fire music for my boy Wasabi. But let's
Got
see
you.
what's the question.
All right, hold on. So this is a question from a follower named Wasabi, and he says, how do you manage romantic pursuit and boundaries as a Christian? How do you manage romantic pursuit and boundaries as a Christian? I'll let you answer.
I'm about to say, you're a married man. We should let the married man explain that, because you did it. You won. Nah. I'm kidding.
All right,
it's
crazy.
a daily pursuit.
All right, I'm actually allude to the. I'm actually gonna kind of debunk that myth there. There's a myth that once you get married, that's the goal.
Right.
No, actually, that's the beginning of the starting line of the rest of your life.
Oof.
So, relationships is this transitional thing. So you go from obviously dating to this to that, and we think that marriage is the ultimate goal. So we kind of like use marriage as like an idol and whatnot. I used to. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, that was like the ultimate goal. No, it's actually the stepping stone. That's in the right direction of you pursuing a life as a man of God. So that's that. So how do you manage romantic? How do you manage a romantic pursuit? And boundaries as a Christian, as a man of God, I would say this: one, if you're a man and you're pursuing a woman, having boundaries is attractive. I keep it a stack with you.
Absolutely.
It is attractive.
Absolutely.
It's a cheat
Absolutely.
code, my brother. But no. Don't try to use it as like a leverage. But having
Right.
boundaries show that you have integrity,
Intentionality
right?
too.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You have intentionality. So if you have boundaries in place where you said like you said, like one, I'll give you an example. One boundary that I had put on myself throughout the times where I had the thought of pursuing or dating. It's before I met my wife. One of my boundaries was I try not to speak to any females past a certain time.
Good one.
That was just a boundary for myself. So if anybody texts me past 10 o'clock, as far as like female wise, if I didn't know there's like a friends and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I make sure to answer them the next day. One,
That's
why?
smart.
Because I know my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy. But then also two, ain't nothing, ain't nothing.
Nothing good happens after 10 p.m.
Exactly. Ain't nothing. You ain't got nothing to talk about after 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Just keeping it real with you. Like that was one boundary that I kind of put in. And then also a boundary with me and my wife is because of our past, like being transparent again. Like I wasn't celibate before I met my wife. I wasn't like I and before I gave my life to Christ, I was in the world, you know what I'm saying? So I was already not celibating. And so one thing I did was I knew myself enough to be like, yo, if I'm going to pursue this woman, we can't kiss. So one of the boundaries that we had in our relationship before I met my wife was we didn't kiss.
True.
We didn't kiss until the altar.
That's true. I
Now-
remember that. Yeah. That's a big boundary though.
Yeah, that's a big boundary. So now if you saying like, oh man, you guys are perfect the whole entire time, of course not. Heck no. You know what I'm saying? Like we two grown adults, you know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes things quote my big homie, David, and he was like, things got hot and heavy, you know what I'm saying? You know? And so we had to set things and boundaries in place that allow us to honestly win. And just win this pursuit. And so setting boundaries is a great thing. So if you are a man and you are a women, my sisters, please set boundaries, because boundaries, honestly, boundaries keep you safe. We know the ultimate understanding of what a boundary is, but a boundary kind of keeps you safe. Like for instance, a chimney is a boundary. You know what I'm saying? A fireplace is boundary. It's like a boundary line for fire. It keeps the fire contained within a specific area. If you take those same burning logs and you put them in the middle of your living room, your whole house is going to burn down.
True.
So you kind of got to have boundaries for yourself and also boundaries for each and every area in your life. It's not only physical boundaries. That's what I also learned as well too. I had physical boundaries up, but I didn't have emotional boundaries set.
Oof.
So I would share things a little too quickly. I was very vulnerable too quickly, and vulnerability for me wasn't big as most people. Like vulnerability for most people is like it's like real safe. Vulnerability for me, it was a way for me to connect to a person, just talk to them.
Same here.
But sharing things a little too early creates emotional bondage and emotional boundary, and so there's multiple areas in your life that you kind of got to keep boundaries up. So my brother, one way you can do if you're pursuing somebody romantically is to set boundaries, is to set physical boundaries. Like, yo, don't chill with her. One, she shouldn't be at your crib. You know, like don't, you know, like, well, to each his own. To each his own boundaries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know yourself, don't be alone with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't chill after 11 p.m. Hang around people, have accountability, have people around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have conversations. Another one, don't have conversations that are out there that you know that can produce mental things in your mind that, you know, like, what she look like? Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. And you know, women, don't think about the altar. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about the altar. like, man, what does he look like? Oh man, like he's gonna be my husband. What do he look like when we marry? Like, that's all. That's
That's a
just
tough one.
try not
That's
to
a
do
tough
that.
one,
Try not
though.
to fantasize that far. So, and I would say, yeah, set those boundaries in line, because that'll help you romantically. Continue to set up those boundaries, and have those things put into place, which will make your pursuit as a man of God or a woman of God more attractive. You know what I'm saying? One, as a woman of God, setting up boundaries is attractive. I kid you not. Boundaries are attractive. Boundaries are attractive to the right person who's willing to pursue you in the right direction. And it's not vanity if you got things in boundaries, because people are like, oh, who you think you are? You know, like, no, no, no,
Mm.
no, 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 no. If like another boundary was I didn't follow many females on Instagram. That just wasn't my thing.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And
Nice.
obviously I had personal boundaries, that, obviously I don't mention off the air, but um that I may be struggling with struggles and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, let me step away from that.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Cause I want my pursuit to be clean. I want my pursuit to be holy and pure. So
Yeah. And so if you
what
want
about
to,
you?
if you want to kind of go off on, no, you're, for me, I would say it looks different for everybody, like you said.
Facts.
But I would say for me, I've always had like a mental understanding that the most important things have always been perfect with keeping my boundaries. Absolutely not. But I could see the destruction that comes from not keeping my boundaries. A little bit of fire out the fireplace sometimes. Never good for anybody.
Nope.
But but
It's
one
warm at
thing
first.
is, and that is right.
Coming down.
You look, not the chimney, not the chimney, but it's it's but for me, I would say there was simple boundaries that I have in place for sure. Like you mentioned, a lot of those. You kind of, because I'm a person like you said who just would connect off of being emotionally vulnerable and just like being cool. I have a lot of friends that are also girls, so that's also like something that I wouldn't think about. And so when I got in a relationship, I would realize like, and then now even more so, even in my singleness, I would realize that my boundaries with women weren't as great as I thought they were, because maybe I wasn't flirting with them, because maybe I wasn't trying to do anything with them. I
Yep.
thought they were great, but because I was being emotional with them past 11 o'clock, because I was talking to them for 4 hours on a phone call, because I would like, hug them and be nice and sweet to them in the ways that I was, it was
Yes,
just like,
Pastor.
he could speak it. They was just, it didn't come off great. And so one thing I would say is being intentional, not only about what exactly you're doing, but also how you might be perceived by somebody else when you're doing what you're doing, is
Facts.
very important, especially when you're in a relationship, because your partner now will have to deal with that. And one thing I was told is something that like actually really changed, which just changed my mind, and just full on transparency. What helped me even more was like the idea of struggling with lust and all of these things. It goes even deeper than just yourself. Like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do this behind closed doors. And then, it's like impacting my girlfriend. But like when the Bible talks about sinning in adultery by just even looking at a woman, it's like, that's another boundary I would say for you to have personally in your regular life. But in
Facts.
your relationship, most importantly, of course, like committing adultery in your head with other women, like, oh, she just posted a nice cute picture, let me go like that. That should be a boundary that you shouldn't have already, because you're looking at the picture, you're scrolling through the photos, you're looking at what she's wearing, you're looking at how she's dressed, and now you're already creating some sort of adultery in a sense in your mind with this other person. So I would say that's a boundary that I would say to have. How you're looking at other women, I've learned to be a lot better, and I never was like weird about it, but even in the very simple aspect of just like, oh, like she's so pretty, and like let me look at her picture, she looks cute. Even that still, boundaries about like Z said, the one-on-one time you spend with women, especially depending on your past and depending on who you guys are, that's very important. How are you spending that time? What are you saying to people, even if it's just jokes?
Yeah.
Good boundaries to put up. What are you saying to
for a
them?
fact.
Oh, like she knows I have a boyfriend. She knows she knows I have a girlfriend. He
Girlfriend.
knows I have a boyfriend, or it doesn't matter. Like your boundaries shouldn't be set up upon your words and like what somebody should know. They should be set up upon your precedence and how you're operating.
Word.
Another boundary, like Z said, I think physical is very important. For me, what I've always gone into, and sometimes I would slip or mess up or stuff, but for the most part, it wasn't no kissing, because to me, I thought that was OD. But like if God said it, then God said it, and for you, that's what you felt.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. Sorry, you can keep going. That was just between me and my wife. You know, what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not saying any of my old relationships that I put that boundary up. I just knew I came to the end of myself when it came to that. It's like
Right.
I know I wanted to marry her, but it was just like what I knew myself.
You
And I
knew
knew
that
my
you
past, you know what I'm saying? So no
right.
making out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, for sure.
you know, like
It's you're
I
right.
kiss you
And
on your cheek. Same
because
thing.
right, you're right about that. And so that's it. Like God might speak to you differently in certain ways.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
some people like people always use that analogy. Oh, for one person they could be in a bar, that's okay. But if this person's a recovering alcoholic, they shouldn't be in a bar. Like,
That's true.
so we all kind of understand ourselves. And if it's not specifically said in the Bible, then we kind of have to, create boundaries that also we feel like God is probably telling us, or we just know better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably the biggest thing I would say in terms of like, I can't even give you any more specific boundaries. I'm just gonna say you're like the Bible says. The Bible says those who know to do good but still don't do it, or know what's right to do and don't do it, to them as sin. So if you don't want to be sinning in your relationship, I guess to say we have to understand, and this is a call not just to you, it's to me too, it's to all of us. We have to say, you know what, like Z said, I know better. And if you know better, then create boundaries around what you know better, and don't try to be naive and be like, oh, I didn't know until it happens. You knew, or you have an idea. Put yourself in position to know better. And so we'll leave that one alone after that.
Sorry,
right
one
there.
last thing. I wanted to make it a quick disclaimer. I don't want to try to make myself sound extra, super holy or whatnot, because people hear the fact that me and my wife didn't kiss before we got married. Yo, we struggled a lot. I keep it a stack with you. It was you know what I'm saying, hot and so hot in here. You know what I'm saying? No, for real, bro. It wasn't so. And plus, we were only yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a challenge. So I'm not gonna say it was all.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
glamorous.
roses.
But can I say something though? A positive thing that I'm learning, and I had to learn this over my time in just relationships, that it's not a bad thing that you feel that way. That's actually really good. Like that's something to be important. That's something hopefully people could take from this, because for me, I used to feel like that a long time ago, and I would always just think, not like crazy lustful, but just like the excitement. And I started to build such a bad relationship with it because I would fall, and because things happened in my relationship that didn't need to happen. I built such a bad relationship with it that I was like, you know what, I don't need these things because these things are bad. It's not bad that you feel that way about somebody. It's not bad that you feel hungry, but it's bad when you start being gluttonous. It's bad when you start being lustful and doing things you shouldn't do. That's where it's bad. But to feel like you're hungry just shows that you exist. To feel like you actually want somebody shows that you like them. So don't feel weird about that. Like Z said, it wasn't easy. So don't feel weird about that. Even though they did it, it wasn't easy. So don't feel weird about that. That's not a barometer of you being a good or bad person. It's just a matter of now setting up boundaries in that position.
Got you. All right, let's move on.
Okay. I got one right here. All right, this one I like. What is 6 divided by 2, parentheses, 1 plus 2, and parentheses, equal?
What is 6 divided by 2,
This is
parentheses, PEMDAS?
PEMDAS. That's what I'm thinking about.
PEMDAS. You already know. That's the public school system.
Please excuse my dear
Aunt Sally.
Auntie Sue. Oh, okay, my bad. I got an Auntie Sue. All right, cool. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Look, it says AJ Music _ and see, yo man, AJ Music with all these underscores, man. We could never find you guys, because how many underscores is in there? Is that 3? Is that 4? I'm gonna just say AJ Music _
Yeah, underscore. Yeah, that's 2 underscores though.
That's
I can
2?
tell. Yeah, it's 2.
It's looking like 3 to me, but at the end of the day, I love this question. And for you sending this, I'm an accountant major, and that I like math. So let's do the math. Z, you do yours real quick, and then I'm gonna do mine. You let me know who comes up with the right answer. All right, got it.
Okay, what you got?
All right, the same at the count of 3. We gonna say our answer. Ready?
3.
1. Oh, the other way. 3, 2, 1.
1. Yeah.
Hey,
I got 1. Yeah. So that's what I got. So 1 is the reason why I'll tell you how I got 1. So parentheses 1 plus 2 is 3, right? And then you then you exponent. That's 2. Now you do. Well, you don't got exponent. Yeah. You got multiplications. Pim, which is 2 times 5. 2 times 3 is 6.
Yep.
And D, which is divide, which is 6 divided by 6 is 1. Yeah. And that's it.
Yo, hey man. Next time AJ Music, give us another one that's a little harder and remove the underscores from your name. All right, so all right, we gonna give AJ Music another chance, because that was a beautiful one. I love that question.
Yeah.
And here's another one. Okay. What do you believe God fearing means, and do you fear God? I
Oh,
love it. I love
got
it.
you. All right, cool. Um, I'll give you you want me?
Yeah, you go
That's for me.
ahead, bro.
All right, cool. So, I'll give you my old definition, and then I'll give you how I my like I'll give you what I used to think God fearing meant and what I know God fear to be now. What I
Okay.
used to believe God fearing meant was I actually fear God, that I'm afraid of God
Yes.
because God is to be feared. That's what I
Yes.
heard religiously, but then also just like I fear no man but God. You know what I'm saying? That's what the hood say.
That's
I
the
fear
word. Yeah,
as you
yeah.
get a tattoo on your neck. You know what I mean?
Fear God.
Lying, because you out here living trifling.
Living crazy.
But what I know, what I've learned, fearing God means is to actually respect God, which is means to have reverence for God. The word
Yes.
fear in the Bible is to mean to have reverence for Him, and to have reverence is to take God seriously.
Yeah.
I.e., shout out to my grandpops Tony Evans. He broke it down. Nah, seriously, he broke it down. He broke it down amazingly. Great theologian, but he broke it down where to beginning of wisdom, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom, which is I think if I'm pretty sure is in Proverbs or something. The beginning of wisdom, the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. To fear God is to fear God is the beginning of wisdom. So understanding that is like, what does fearing God mean? And to have reverence, to respect God, to take God seriously means to fear God. So that's my definition,
That's fire.
and what I've come to understand, a God fearing man, someone who takes God seriously,
And
a
do you
man
fear
who
God?
I fear God, man. I love that man. That's my
You
that's
take
my
God serious.
guy.
That's
Big
it.
homie. You know what I'm saying?
Big
Big sir, you know what I'm saying?
Big
Flex
sir.
emoji on him.
No, that's fire. I like that. Do I fear God? Well, you said it the best. I don't even have to add to that. Yes, I believe the same thing. Fearing God is reverence of God, and it's not being afraid of Him. Even though I am afraid of them angels. You talking about 16?
Yeah.
How many eyes on them? And you
Uh-huh.
got eyes on your wings, eyes to hide your feet.
Right?
Spare me. You feel me? But
Hide your kids.
hide your
wife.
wives. And hide. All right. Anyway, but
Everybody out here.
everybody.
Got you.
I'm definitely afraid of them angels, boy. I'm not. I look. God forgive me. I'm not looking forward to seeing them angels, but I am looking forward to being in Your kingdom. You hear me?
Amen.
But
You
however,
hear me?
however, I do fear God. I do believe I fear God. I do believe I live with a reverence for God. I do believe I'm not perfect, but I do believe that my life is just lived to just love God. And it's the same way that we talk about fearing a parent, fearing like, you know, oh, my dad, when my dad used to pull out that beating shirt and he came out with the wife beater on and his arms steady, he sat down and went, ugh. I knew we was gonna get beat. I knew we was gonna have a conversation that was deep. But that made me fear my dad, not in a way where I didn't want to be here, like I gotta get away from this guy, but it made me have reverence for him because like now I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna be like, you know what? My dad wouldn't be happy about this, or God wouldn't be happy about the way I'm living, or you know. And so that's the way I would say it, and I'll leave it as simple as that, man.
All right, so I got this one. It says, this is from Nappy Gilmore.
Yes.
Nappy Gilmore says, if you have seen it, what did you think about the Book of Clarence?
First off, Nappy Gilmore, that name is fire because Adam Sandler's my guy. Happy Gilmore, I love that movie. Nappy Gilmore, I resonate. However, what do I think about that? What do I think about that movie? I never saw it. The only introduction to that movie I've had was my brother saw it on TV, and he was like, or like the promo, and the trailer, and he was like, "Yo, you seen that movie? It's so blasphemous." So the only thing I know about it is that it sounds blasphemous, and I saw it. They showed me the trailer, and yeah, it looked pretty blasphemous to me. So I don't really know, but it's always very, very, very iffy when they create stories about the Bible. I also always, or like biblical stories or anything referencing that. It's kind of like the show Lucifer. Again, never watched it, but my brother told me that in that show they kind of paint Lucifer in a different light. And so what starts to happen with things like that, especially even the new series they have, sometimes they add and take a little things from it. It kind of reminds me of the Word, and the Word says that, you know, once we're adding or subtracting certain things, like don't add or subtract anything to it, or really. So when I see those things, I kind of am very wary. Very, very wary because I don't know exactly what they're adding, what they're subtracting, and then they're putting a big twist on it that's making it kind of worldly. I kind of like to stay away from that. So that's where I am at with it. But I'm interested to hear more about it or what you think. What about you, Z? You saw it?
Yeah, no, I actually didn't see the movie at all, but I actually, like you, I saw the trailer, and
Crazy?
yeah, well, to me, I ain't go front. It made me laugh. And the reason why it made me laugh is because if you don't know me, like I'm really big in film. And my like my part-time job, well, I'm really big in film and I really love filmmaking and my goal, is to want to make films one day.
Yeah.
What was in there was two things about the trailer. One, obviously, I started to laugh, and I started to laugh was because obviously it came off blasphemous. It came off like super funny. It was just like, why everybody playing with Jesus? You know what I'm saying? Like why
Try
why
to be not God.
you know what I'm saying? That's why it was funny to me. It was funny to me is because here is another example of trying Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like Jesus being the mockery. Well, I wouldn't say a mockery, but just being the focal point of some form of laughter. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it was funny to me that like it's so crazy. I was having a conversation with my wife and I said it seems like nobody else, like that Christianity is the only religion that's worth mocking.
I think that all the time, bro. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
why they be talking about or even in music or something? Like they be like Jay-Z, Illuminati, all these things. Why they not making fun of like other religions? Why they always making fun of like Jesus or Lil Nas X did this? Why?
Exactly. But which honestly, so think about that. Why Jesus is the focal point of why Jesus is the only focal point when it comes to blasphemous or a funny topic. They don't do that with Islam. They're not doing it with Buddha. They're not doing it with anything else, but they're doing it with Jesus, which, to be honest, is one of those things. Remember, like, where it's just like, what is it called? Well, if you got your name in his mouth, like, he's worth talking about. So, that's that. But then also, too, what really brought to my mind about it was the fact of how, it made it kind of sad that everybody else can tell the story of Jesus besides the Christians. Like believers is like everybody else is willing to step up and tell their version of what they think Jesus is about besides the people who actually have a relationship with him. And I'm not saying Christians aren't. I'm not saying Christians aren't stepping up and making films about Christ, but it seems like everybody else who do not know Christ have their own opinion about them. So I think we should us as believers, let's make a film and step up and just start like, all right, this is what life is actually really like with Christ. Versus what you think. So that's only my opinion on it. So do I think it's blasphemous? Have I seen it? No, I don't really have any opinion on it. It's just funny, and it's just one of those things that somebody else gotta make another. It's all right, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever.
Hey, man,
it don't faze me.
Yeah, it's tough, man. But we could always talk about it. Just due to the lack of time, man. We were getting to that whole nother time, a whole nother depth of it.
Let's go through another. Let's go through two more. Let's just do two more and make it short. Let's do two more and make it short.
You got two more in you? All right.
I got two. I got two more in me.
I was gonna save them. For another episode. Bring y'all back for more. You hear me?
All right, rapid. We running low on time, so we're gonna do some nice little rapid fire. Give me one quick, a short answer.
I like this.
Shadow Nye. That's his name. Yeah. Shadow Nye.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Shadow Nye says people with titles and no anointing. One word.
With titles.
One sentence.
Okay. Interesting business.
People with titles and no anointing. People with titles and no anointing. Saul.
Oh. No. You can't. All right, you got to talk about that. Why you said Saul? Say it real quick.
The reason why I said Saul is because Saul had an anointing, but he lost it because he talked too much, and he didn't listen. That was one thing. You can have titles don't make you anointing. Titles just make you above people.
That's true. That's true. My pastor used to
Cool.
always speak about that. He would always talk about spiritual leaders. I mean,
Yeah,
he would always
yeah.
talk about leaders. He would say there's positional leaders and there's real leaders. Positional leaders are people who are in position. That's why they lead. Like, I'm your principal, so I lead. I could be a terrible principal, but I'm a principal no matter less. I could be your pastor. I could have no anointing. I could have nothing to do with God. But they put me here, so here I am. It could be risky business. But then again, some people also wind up doing things. It's very interesting. But yeah, such a deep topic, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, it can go deeper. All right, let's not go too far. But I
Cool,
like
cool.
that.
Cool. Brother, my brother Isaac.
Isaac Gurajena.
Isaac Gurajena. Shout out to the Gurajenas out there. I love y'all.
Yeah.
I love y'all. Those are my peoples.
Yes.
How can we practice love in our everyday lives?
Love others.
Facts. I agree.
Love others. That's our command. That's what God asks us to love others.
Facts.
And loving others doesn't look the way you expect it to look.
Exactly. And I'll say how you can practice loving others in your everyday life is by learning other people's love languages and love them the way they know how to be loved.
True.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, do your thing.
And also you can read the Bible and see how Jesus loved other people too.
Exactly.
And you can love them the way that Jesus did too, to the best of
Exactly.
your abilities. All right. Do we have another one?
Cool. All right, we got two more. This is from the girl actually.
This is from the A. Lilin.
Yeah, they ate. Yep. That.
A. Lilin, again, if y'all don't know who A. Lilin is, she was on the episodes a couple times about relationships. Great stuff, guys. You got to go back and watch that. Good people.
Cool. She says, what are your thoughts on premarital counseling?
My thoughts on premarital counseling, in a short sentence, I think you should do it. Yeah, I think you should.
So my thoughts on premarital counseling, it is necessary. Matter of fact, it's not even just necessary. It is a prerequisite.
Yes.
Do not skip on premarital counseling when you're dating. Do it while you're dating, not because you want to get married. Do it while you're dating, because premarital counseling is not only to help you prepare for marriage. Premarital counseling is to honestly help you identify the person that you're pursuing.
Bang.
So
That's
prerequisite.
Good.
Keep it going.
That's great. Spoken
next-
from a married man.
Last question. What are 3 core things that a man looks for in a woman of God?
All right, cool. 3 core things that a man looks for in a woman of God. Boom, bang. No, I'm kidding. Boom, bang,
Boom,
bang. Let there be light. Nah, what did Lil Kim? Nah. Nah.
She holding the 3 things in her head.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
Little kid, we love you. What are 3 core things? God loves you too. What are 3 core things that a man looks for in a woman of God? Well, one of them I think we spoke about earlier is boundaries. Like boundaries, having boundaries, self-respect for herself. Love for God, like seeing that she actually loves God, not that she's going to church to find a husband, or not that she's just like looking around for a man of God, even though she don't want to be a woman of God. So just loving God, and I would just say, I guess compassion and grace. Oh, you know what? Compassion and grace is part of, like, I guess, loving God and stuff. Loving God, proper boundaries, and willing to, I guess, like compromise or help me, like somebody who can also help you, but not just be like a yes woman, but like also could help you and like be helpful to you as well as you are helpful to her, and you guys kind of like could work together.
Facts.
Work with ability, if you may.
Right. Right. Okay, so for me, 3 things that I believe a man looks for in a woman of God is, 1, I say accountability.
There it goes. That's the word.
Yeah, accountability. Like a woman who's accountable, who has a squad around her, not a squad, but have people in her life that can literally hold her accountable to the development of who she's called to be. So so I'll say that. Accountability. 2, I would say, what's the name? What's the name? Be talking about it a lot. What's his name? Jerry Flowers talk about it a lot. In the word, it talks about a husband is supposed to wash his wife with the word, right? washing his wife with the word, and he calls it washable, right? Are you washable? Meaning, let's do it in kind of like modern day terms. Like, are you open for change? You know what I'm saying? Are you open to having someone help you, right? Yes, a woman is supposed to be a helpmate, but a man ought to lead you. Are you? Can you be led?
There it goes. I heard it coming.
Can you be led? There you go.
That's
so,
tight.
number one, you have accountability around you. That's you have accountability that's helping you usher you into the woman of God you're called to be. Then two, can he step in when that's all said and done and actually help you transition to your season in life? Are you?
Yes.
Do you have that? Are you able? Are you open to somebody's coming in?
Yeah.
To lead you? And then also three, and I would say patience.
Nice.
Patience.
Nice.
Patience. Are you patient? Are you patient? I see. There are a lot of women who are patient. But are you willing? Are you willing to wait? Right? Are you willing to wait for him to move into the position that God called him to be? Because sometimes you may meet your man. You may meet the man of God who God called. You may meet the man of God who God called you to be with, but he may not be set up yet. And obviously, I'm not saying it's your job to set him up.
Right,
so
right,
do
right.
not go be captain.
Save a man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Don't be go captain save a man, because you are not you're not baby Jesus. You're not Jesus. You know what I'm saying. You cannot save him, and you cannot put him into position.
Yeah.
But are you willing to wait until he steps in to the call? Because some men needs two things in their life. They need to be activated, or they need to activate the call. That's two things. Some men needs to be activated. So something is going to happen to him for him to realize that, oh, I need to be in position for this.
Yeah.
Or he needs to realize that he needs to turn the switch on. And are you willing to wait for that? Because not a lot of men know that.
Wow.
Not a lot of men know that.
Wow.
And I was one of those men. Who thought he knew.
Yes.
And something needed to activate me to push me towards that.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was activated, and I thought that I knew where I was going, and I thought that I was able to lead somebody, but I wasn't. And it's crazy because, but yeah, that's what I'll say. And also, I feel like we're being a little, I think we're being a little modest. And also too,
attractiveness.
You're attractive. You keep yourself together. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing too. Just young lady, you know what I'm saying? Like sis, like you like sister, just keep, do your thing, you know what I'm saying?
Look, this is important. Now, I'm going to say this now because we will get attacked if we don't say it.
Yeah, that's true.
Men, keep yourself up too. All right?
Yes.
We ain't going to be like, I want me a girl that look like this. I need a girl that's so bad. And you come through with the crack lips. Don't come through with the lips all
and
cracked.
Stop being weird.
And get a haircut.
Bro, get a haircut.
And trim your beard.
Stop wearing that hat. And also cut the beard if it ain't working.
If it ain't connected, yeah.
If it don't connect, don't. I understand the faith until you make it, but it ain't gonna get there. Trust me.
Look at my sideburns coming. Anyway,
I
feel attacked
bro,
now.
Just,
it's all right.
yeah.
It's all right. It's cool.
Bro.
Nah.
Bro, go to the gym.
Yeah, they work out. Yeah.
Go to the gym. Put the pizza down.
Oh man.
And stop being weird. Stop looking at her from across the pew. Stop doing that.
Stop being weird. Stop.
You. All right. Look at me. You my man's. You my man's. I respect you. I know.
Respect
Stop.
yourself now. He said
Stop.
Let's put an end to it, bro.
I know she bad. I know she can sing. Stop telling your friend to go to stop. Don't do it. And stop trying to butt yourself into the conversation when nobody asked you to be there.
Yo, bro, it's starting to sound very specific, bro. It's starting to sound like there's somebody in church that be like,
nah, you and also stop leading with how God blessed you today.
Whoa. All right, that sounds like, bro, this sounds like you had a conversation with somebody.
No,
they told you
that. I'm just saying that. Look.
You're right though.
We just want brothers. I love you. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big advocate for y'all. You know what I'm saying. But we do need to step up. We do need to begin to lead more, and we need to start allowing God to be the present, the CEO of our lives. But we need to step up as the managers and the presidents of our lives, because the Lord has put us in position to take care. So take care of yourself, brothers.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Go get that haircut. Go get that job. And if you're unfortunate to be hustle, go out there and hustle. You know what I'm saying? Go out and hustle legally.
Right.
Go out
legally.
there and put the hustle in, put that work in. That is attractive. Women, a woman of God can smell. A woman of God can sense the pursuit of you know what I'm saying? Vision on, have a vision. You know what I'm saying? Men of God have vision. Women of God have a vision as well too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look for a man who has a vision. Because if he knows where he's going, he knows where to take you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he may, and obviously that vision change.
Yeah.
So obviously, woman, you have to be leadable, because sometimes the vision may change mid drive. That's it. That's all I got. Cause
heard. Nah, bro. We could preach. We good. But that's it, man. And I thank you guys for putting in. That was actually really fun, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was a blast, and I want you guys to keep on sending them questions in, man, because it was a blast. And like we said, you can send it to the DM, Good Reporters Instagram, man, and we're gonna work on that email thing, because I was slacking. Z is here to bring the order to Good Reporters, and that rhymes. But hey, man,
we gonna work on actually getting the email set up so that you guys can just email us in, and we're gonna probably start edging out a section in our daily podcast, and in the daily podcast we're gonna start edging out a section where we answer the questions and kind of help you guys out in any specific way.
Yes.
Love
it, man.
Yeah,
all right,
man.
y'all. We love y'all, man. It's been a blast, and I hope that this could be something y'all could take from it. Again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, put them notifications on too, because the algorithm don't be loving us right now. So if y'all love us, man, hopefully other people can start loving it, and we could keep on moving, guys. So I love y'all,
yes,
man.
Lord.
Z, love you, bro. In fact, I got a joke for you. We got the segment. We got gonna leave here. Hold on. Cue the music, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is Christian dad jokes. Dad jokes. All right, brought to you by Good Reporters, featuring now Zaquane Cooper. All right, y'all ready now? Y'all ready now? Let's do this, man. Z, you ready for this? You don't know about this joke. I got this joke, but you don't know about it. All right, I got a question for you, man. If you could guess these jokes, you're gonna start getting cool points too, man. If you could,
let's do it.
I'm gonna give you 100 cool points. Counts for nothing, but it makes you feel cool. If you get these cool points right here and answer this question. All right, so what did Moses say when he came down the mountain and saw the Israelites worshiping a golden calf?
I don't even know. What he say?
Holy cow. All right, y'all. It's been good, man. Hey, look, man. Love you guys. Don't forget to be a good reporter, because good reporters bring good news, man. Love you guys, man.
Ooh, yeah. Bring in the good news. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I got some good news.